I have been living in Tijuana Beaches for the last 2 years, and I thought maybe it'd be a good time to update everyone on kind of what is going on in my life, where I see the channel going, and a couple different topics. So if you're new to the channel, guys, welcome back. I wanted to kind of break down why I moved down here, kind of what I do for activities, what I do for social life, what I do for work, and kind of where I want to push this channel moving on into the future. So first off, guys, I ended up down here kind of on a little bit of an accident. It was kind of an accident finding Tijuana. I'd been living in Southern California for about 14 years, and my friend, who is a Mexican national, he wanted me to come down to the border and ask some of the border patrol officers if he, with his current status on his visa, was able to come into Mexico to see his family members and then come back into the U.S. So basically, long story short, I missed my exit and I drove right into Tijuana. And basically, when I drove in, I kind of started looking around and saw a Costco and saw, things, Smart and Final grocery store and some brand recognition type things, where I decided about a week later I was going to make a trip down here to look at some properties. Because at the time I was actually living in a temporary spot. I had been previous to that, living in Orange County, Irvine, where I was paying about $2,900 a month for rent. By the time I added fiber internet, sewage, water, electricity, all these things, extra parking spot, since I had 2 cars at the time, it was literally like $3,300 just for that part. So I had been in the real estate business, guys, as well, and the real estate business had kind of started slowing down. So I had already anticipated to find cheaper living costs because my income had started to go down. So I came down here to Tijuana a week later and I started looking at properties. I found some really nice properties in between Tijuana Beaches and Rosarito. And I ended up signing a lease in a private neighborhood that was gated, privacy, completely gated. Ocean view, all the utilities together were like $20 a month. And like I said, it was an entire house. So I lived there for about close to a year. And then I decided that it was a little bit farther than I wanted to be from the U.S. border. I ended up getting a part-time job in the evenings, and I decided, since I was crossing the border more frequently, I wanted to kind of be a little bit closer in proximity to the U.S. border, while not being in the city of Tijuana, but while still being in the beach side and having the beach Mediterranean weather and the fresh air and the beach style vibes. So I decided to move to Playas de Tijuana. I found a really good price on a studio apartment where I'm currently living for about $500 US a month. The previous house I was paying about $1,200 a month. I was a 3-bedroom house. I did like it a lot. But I found that it was a lot of unnecessary space, and the distance was a little bit more than I wanted to do on a daily basis. So I've been living at the current place I'm at for a little over a year, and like I said, I'm paying $500 US a month. It has a panoramic ocean view. I can see all the way down to Coronado. I can see all the way down to downtown San Diego. It's a beautiful property. It's got security patrolling the neighborhood 24/7. It's got security gated with security guards at the front of the gate. So it's super secure in that sense. And all the bills are included, and it's only, like I said, $500 US a month. So this cost savings has actually been tremendous on the back end. I've been able to basically hedge my lifestyle in a way where I don't have to pay the super inflated cost of food, electricity, and everything else that is going on in the United States right now. And I'm able to basically, disengage from that completely. And that kind of moves me into my next topic, which is work. What do I do for work? And for most expats, they either work remotely, or they have like a fixed income, or they have a monthly income on investments or dividends or things like that. I was able to make some good investments over the years, but I am still in a position where I do work. I'm in the real estate business. I help people find rentals down here now in Tijuana, and as well as in the United States. And I'm going to be ramping up my real estate business back on the San Diego side as well, taking advantage of the current market meltdown that we're kind of starting to see in San Diego County. And so I also have, like I said, I also have a part-time job working about 3 days a week in the evening times, which it basically covers my entire expenses living down here in sometimes one day of work. I can literally make $500 some days in one shift, and I'm able to cover my entire living expenses for my rent in that one day of work. So working down here in the San Diego area and while living in Tijuana also is a very kind of unique situation, and I do kind of want to explain that a little bit more maybe in another video. But I also want to recommend that if people are thinking about moving abroad, I think that Tijuana is definitely a really good place to start because of the proximity and the fact that if you need to cross the U.S. border every day to go to work in San Diego, there's like somewhere around 32 or 40,000 people that do so every single day. So it definitely is kind of a unique situation where you can live abroad and you can enjoy the benefits of the geo-arbitrage while making making U.S. dollars and spending local currency. So you can geo-arbitrage your lifestyle, and you don't have to really victimize yourself to the high living cost of California, which is some of the highest in the United States. San Diego County is literally one of the top most expensive places to live in the entire U.S. So there is work. Like I said, there is tons of work in San Diego. So if you are thinking about moving there and you want to, hop on a call or something like that, we can set something up. So what do I do for activities? Well, for activities, I do a lot of stuff. I go running all the time, sometimes at the beach, sometimes around some of the parks, the local parks. Sometimes I go down to Rosarito or in between Rosarito and go on a couple running trails there back in my old neighborhood, which I frequent a lot because it's just a great place to get outside, get some sun, and run. And then other activities I do, I like to go out with my partner, and we go out to eat a lot of places. We pretty much go out to eat, like, I would say, any day that I'm off. I mean, she loves to go out and eat, and so do I. So we take advantage of the restaurants down here. We got a couple places that we go to pretty regularly. We go to some Chinese restaurants, some ramen noodle spots. We go to sushi quite a bit, and we even go into kind of the upper class or the upper scale neighborhoods of Chapultepec, which is kind of like the upscale Tijuana area. And sometimes we even go for like a steak dinner or something. And we do this a couple times a week. So what is the social life down here in Tijuana? So for me, guys, I'm 38 years old. As far as a social life, I don't really, I'm not really in the time in my life where I want to like have a big social network. I don't find that a lot of people are, they want to kind of do like fun activities and stuff like that, which is cool. But I'm kind of more of a goal-oriented person where I like to really like deep dive into what it is that I'm doing. And I really try to kind of limit my social activity. And kind of purposely put myself in a box because I don't really want to have a bunch of social distractions with things like that. But I do want to expand on that because a lot of people are social butterflies and they want to, go out and meet people and hang out and meet and interact and build friends and friendship networks. And I do think Tijuana Beaches is a great place to do that. I have met a lot of really cool local people down here that are English-speaking people, some from the United States, some locally that were born and raised here in Tijuana Beaches. And they have tried to reach out and hang out. and we have exchanged numbers and stuff, and it's nothing personal. Like, I just not in the part of my life where I want to like have a big social network and stuff like that. But I do think that if that is like what you like, that it's definitely easy to meet people down here at the gym. You know, a lot of people I meet at the gym, a lot of people you can just meet out in public. People are really friendly here. So if you, you know, you're out in a public place, it's very easy to talk with people and network and build out a social circle if that is what you're wanting. It's just not something that I'm currently wanting, but I have seen that it's a lot better if I were to hypothetically do that down here compared to the San Diego area, just because of the cost involved in doing type things. And I also want to cover like the quality of my current life. I do feel like I've experienced a great increase in the actual quality of my life, simply because I'm able to really immerse myself in these side projects, like building out this YouTube channel, and delivering, you know, great content and stuff like that. But I also think that just in general, the quality of life down here is pretty good. I mean, I'm literally a few blocks from the beach. I have an ocean view that, you know, I spend a fraction of the cost. You know, if this was in San Diego, I would literally be spending probably $6,500 a month just on the rent, for a ocean view that I have down here, plus all the bills and all the headache of the living costs that come with that. And I don't have to constantly, make as much money. But on the flip side of that, I'm still able to protect my portfolio and my investments, and expand in investments, because I'm not having to spend all the cost on living, which I can basically roll over into various investments, rather than expend them to just sunken costs for living costs and stuff like that. So I guess I'll conclude with the video is, would I recommend living in Tijuana? And you got to remember, guys, Tijuana is one of the biggest cities in Mexico. I think it's like the second or third after Mexico City and Monterrey, I think, or Guadalajara. But it's a major city. I mean, there's an international airport here. Tijuana is a very big place. So, you know, when people say, do I recommend it? I personally like a beach style lifestyle. I've always loved living near the beach. Even in California, I lived near the beach for quite a while in Costa Mesa and Newport Beach. And I lived on the peninsula, you know, 14 years ago, and I was paying literally $300 more. I was paying $800 a month to live on the beach. And here I'm paying $500 in 2026. So I would definitely recommend Tijuana if you're thinking of moving abroad, but you don't want to be super far from the United States. Because like I said, it's so convenient to still work in the US and then come here and enjoy your time off and, you know, the living cost and things like that. But Tijuana is, in a nutshell, a very big place. It's a very diverse city. There's a lot of multicultural nationalities here. There's a lot of people from the Caribbean, Haiti. There's quite a bit of Asian populations, Chinese and Vietnamese and different people that I see down here that are from their native land, or they were born here. There's a lot of people that are born here that, you know, we did a video the other day. The gentleman was from Africa, right? So it's a very diverse melting pot of people. Some are just the melting pot that come over from Southern California into Tijuana to live. But there's also a lot of native people that were born here or have lived here for, you know, majority of their life. So it's a very diverse and spread out area that has a lot of different things for a lot of different people. You know, a lot of people that are native Tijuanans, they like living more in the city, the downtown area, kind of the Agua Caliente area, Chapultepec, where the golf course and other high-end shopping and stuff is. But me, I prefer to live near the beach, and I think Tijuana Beaches is probably one of the coolest places in Tijuana, obviously for the beach, but also for the fact that the infrastructure here is far superior, I think, than like Rosarito or even in between Rosarito and Playas de Tijuana. So I do think like Tijuana Beaches is a very unique area in that aspect. You have everything you need here. You're 15 minutes from the US border into San Diego. You're 10 minutes to 12 minutes to Costco. You are 15 minutes from a brand new shopping mall that has every shop you can think of. It literally is comparable to a lot of the shopping malls in the United States in San Diego County and Orange County. And, you know, there's a variety of things to do in about a 15-minute time. Like I can be down in Rosarito in 15 minutes, you know, eating lobster tacos. I can be, you know, 1 hour and a little bit over an hour. I can be in Ensenada. I can be in San Diego in 45 minutes or 40 minutes, depending on traffic. So it's a very centrally located place, and you get to still experience everything of living like a beach lifestyle. So like I said, I'm going to be doing videos kind of catering to people's comments moving forward. Obviously, people that have been watching the channel for a long time, they're kind of like, well, are you still invested in cryptocurrency? Are you still doing your investments? Like, guys, I'm like one of the biggest people on the internet that's involved in those type things. However, I don't feel that my content is really catering to people anymore, helping them get into the space. So I actually want to help people. That's kind of been the whole goal of the channel the whole time. So we're going to try to focus the channel and shift the channel where how can I actually like help people, right? And build out this YouTube channel to do that. So that's kind of where we're going with the channel. Expect a lot of updates. And obviously, you know, if you guys are interested in moving down here, please reach out. I have a lot of connections, whether you're wanting to buy a piece of property or you know, a home. I have all the connections to make that happen. And obviously, if you're on the San Diego side, please reach out to me. If you're thinking about moving down here, or you just are thinking about selling your place in San Diego, I definitely can, you know, drive up there and we can have a chat. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Appreciate you commenting and watching and all the new subscribers. We've seen definitely a pickup in the channel growth here recently, and I'm, you know, super excited to see kind of